Do you ever feel judged, like a higher power is watching your every mistake? This is the story of Marcus, haunted by past actions and seeking forgiveness in a soup kitchen. Witness how a simple act of kindness from an unexpected source shatters his fear and reveals a profound truth. Discover how grace can be found where you least expect it, offering hope and healing from within. Marcus stood behind the long counter of the bustling soup kitchen, his hands steady but his heart heavy. The clatter of pots and murmur of voices filled the air, yet his mind was consumed with fear. He felt judged by a higher power for past mistakes. He seemed. Every week, Marcus volunteered here, driven by a grim determination. Each action felt like a penance for a past lie, a desperate attempt to earn forgiveness. He avoided eye contact, trapped in his fear. Years ago, a lie had taken root inside him like a dark seed. This grew into a fear that the divine was cataloguing his every fault, waiting to deliver a final judgment. He felt compelled to earn forgiveness. He avoided eye contact, keeping his gaze fixed on the steaming pots rather than the people he served. Compassion was a stranger to him now. Instead, he carried around a spiritual debt. Each bowl of soup was a wager against an unforgiving universe. This was a desperate hope to balance the scales. Then came Agnes. She was an elderly woman who came regularly, her presence a comforting constant amid the kitchen's whirlwind. Today, as Marcus handed her a bowl, she smiled warmly and said, "God bless you, son." Her words were a sudden burst of life. Instead of comfort, Agnes's blessing stirred his anxiety. How could he accept such a blessing when he felt so flawed, so unworthy? Shame prickled his skin. He nodded almost imperceptibly and turned away quickly to continue his task. His heart raced and he felt like fleeing. The hours slipped by, marked only by the steady flow of hungry people and the repetitive rhythm of soup ladling. Then, as Marcus rushed back to the kitchen to refill the large pot, his foot caught on a stray broomstick. The tray he balanced a full set of steaming soup bowls, tilted dangerously, then crashed down onto the floor with a loud splattering crash. For a frozen moment, everything stopped. The noise echoed sharply, slicing through the kitchen chatter. Marcus stood motionless. This was it, the moment his worst fears told him had been looming. A public display of failure, proof of his unworthiness. He braced himself for anger, for judgment, but none came. Instead, soft footsteps approached. Agnes was there now, mop in hand, her eyes calm and kind. Her presence was a comforting contrast to the chaos. "Oh dear," she said gently, not even a hint of annoyance in her voice. "Huh, spills happen." She began to mop the floor, humming a soft tune as she worked. "Let's get this cleaned up before someone slips." Her simple act of forgiveness for such a small mistake cracked the fortress of fear Marcus had built around his heart. If someone like Agnes, who had so little for herself, could show such immediate kindness, perhaps the higher power he had dreaded was not a stern judge perched in judgment, but a quiet source of unconditional love. He started to wonder. Marcus looked at her, and for the first time in years, allowed himself a small smile. It was as he was feeling at peace. The heavy weight of guilt, shame, and fearful expectations shifted, becoming a little easier to bear. Here, amid the warmth of human kindness rather than the cold fear of divine wrath, Marcus began to understand that forgiveness did not have to be earned through suffering. It could be given freely, just as Agnes had given it to him in this noisy, humble kitchen. She was a friend. From that day forward, Marcus's hands moved with less dread and more purpose. The change was palpable. And sometimes, when Agnes said, "God bless you, son," he no longer flinched, but returned the blessing. He was grateful, knowing that grace was closer to kindness than punishment. Marcus now had hope.